With Thanksgiving over, many Black Knights teams are getting back to action, and we'll start with the Army West Point hockey team as they travel to Buffalo to take on the Canisius Golden Griffins. Canisius is one of the best offensive teams in the conference and posts one of the best lines in Atlantic hockey as well, and head coach Brian Riley knows that they're going to have to watch out for that line and combat them accordingly if they're going to want to come away with points this weekend.
One thing we've learned, there are no easy games. It seems like every weekend you're going up against somebody else that has been in the tournament, has won our league, and Canisius is a very well-coached team. They have probably one of the top lines in our league, so they will present a challenge, and we have to make sure that we understand when that line is on the ice. But they're deep in every position, and you know what? I expect it to be a hard-fought series for sure.
The Army women's basketball team will return to Crystal Arena on Sunday at 1 o'clock when they take on the Rider Bronx. The Black Knights are coming off their first loss of the season when they fell to nationally ranked Duke down in North Carolina. Despite the loss, the Black Knights were able to hang with Duke the entire game, also took a lead into halftime, but it wasn't enough as the Black Knights will look to rebound this weekend and pick up their fourth win of the season.
Duke was a legitimate top 10 team. I mean, they were ninth in the coaches' poll. And when you think about playing somebody at that level, the last time was Maryland and the NCAA tournament, and we certainly did not compete, the way that I would have liked to have, other than the first, 7-8 minutes. So the ability for us to sustain or to weather a couple big runs and still come back, to me, is a real positive thing. It's I feel good about it, but you take out of it what you want. I mean, you can pick and choose. There are things that we have to get better at, and there's some systemic problems that this team needs to solve. We've got to find a second consistent scorer to go with Minato, and ideally a third consistent scorer. We just don't get that. When you look at Hicks's performance with 11, your starting front line had 3 field goals, Ortner and Failer, and that's just not going to win a lot of games for us. So, we've got to deal with things. We've got injuries. We've got some kids that are not 100%, and we've got to get healthy, and we've got to continue to get better defensively.
After taking on George Washington and Tennessee earlier in the week, the Army men's basketball team will return to Crystal Arena and close out the Barclays Center Classic. Army will take on Arkansas Pine Bluff on Friday, and then depending on the results of that game and the earlier game, will either take on Gardner-Webb or Southeastern Louisiana on Saturday. That's going to do it for your weekend preview. For Night Vision, I'm Zack Daly.